Today on the GrandLAN video blog, New Avengers, Ms. Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man Yearbook, Secret Invasion Requiem, and Ultimatum. Hey everyone, welcome to the GrandLAN video blog for books that came out on December 24th, 2008. Christmas Eve, as we call it, in most places around the world. This is the first half of two installments, of course. First, dealing with some Marvel books. The next one will have some DC and some indie stuff for you, as usual. First up, Dark Reign has begun. New Avengers number 48, and we get a brand new Avengers team. Now, I've been saying for many years, this book's been going on for 4 years, 48 issues, and it hasn't really been Avengers. It hasn't been the classic Avengers we've been looking for. The things that we really enjoy, at least me personally as an old Avengers fan. I liked seeing the Avengers go out and have adventures. And during all of the big summer crossovers, Brian Michael Bendis' new Avengers book has been a reason for them to talk about the big summer crossover. In Civil War it was individual stories, in House of M it was alternate things, and Secret Invasion was no different. It was a bunch of backstories, histories, things where this is where such and such a Skrull invaded, or where they infiltrated so and so. This is the Avengers. This is Captain America. Yeah, you don't have Iron Man, you don't have Thor, but you got Cap, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, amongst others, going out, kicking butt, and taking names. This is what an Avengers book should be, and it's about time we got one back on the market. Great read, very fun. Check this out for sure. It's got some really interesting Dark Reign developments. They're chasing after Luke and Jessica's baby, which is obviously one of the hanging plot threads from Secret Invasion. It's very exciting. It's very fun. I love it. I don't usually like New Avengers this much. This is the Avengers book I've been waiting 4 years to read again. Great, great stuff. On the flip side, Ms. Marvel, number 34. Again, Dark Reign has started here as well, and we couldn't talk about what was in this book. Ms. Marvel is on a Black Ops mission, not in her costume, just in a ball cap and street clothes, trying to get some information on Norman Osborn. Where that information is going to go, I'm not quite sure, but we do get a nice little noirish cover. I really enjoy this cover. And we also get an appearance by the Amazing Spider-Man. Haha, right there. Spider-Man is not correctly characterized here. Brian Reed does not do a good job in writing his characters. This is an interesting story for Ms. Marvel. It has a nice little Machine Man appearance for those of you who love Next Wave and all that stuff. But other than that, this is a really middle-of-the-road book when it could be so much more. It has a really good idea behind it, a really good premise, really good core of the book. And the characterization, the poor characterization of Spider-Man, and then from then on, not really telling the reader what's going on. Brian Reed's kind of trying to be a little Grant Morrison-esque, I think, or a little Jeff Loeb-esque. If you don't tell me what's going on, it's a mystery. That's not really actually how you write a mystery. You don't just deliberately keep information from your reader. But that's what Brian Reed's doing. Overall, it's middle of the road. It's a lot better than most of the Ms. Marvel stuff I've read. But again, miles from what I would consider to be a really, really good book. Next up, two examples of what happens when Marvel decides to blow up the page count and the price. First up, Secret Invasion Requiem. As you know, the Wasp is dead. We have a very nice Dan Slott and Coy Pham story talking about the Wasp. One of the developments in here is you have a Lee and Kirby classic Tales to Astonish story, and also a Jim Shooter, the Yellow Jacket on trial for beating his wife story. Two classic stories reprinted in their entirety inside of this book, with pages to bookend it by Dan Slott and Coy Pham. Now for $4 you'd think it's mostly reprint material. It's not that great. It's a very interesting bookend, and moreover, more importantly, they've gone back and recolored these classic stories so that it looks really sharp. It's really well presented. These are important stories in the Wasp's history, and that's what this book is it's a requiem for the Wasp. It's a way to remember her, it's a memorial, and it's just excellent in that regard. For $4, most of it reprint material, but like I said, you get a Lee and Kirby Tales to Astonish, you get a Jim Shooter Avengers classic, and they're both presented in very clean, recolored, just beautiful presentation for 2008. This is excellent for a $4 mostly reprint book. Great stuff. On the other hand, you have the Amazing Spider-Man Brand New Day Yearbook. It's cute, it's nice, it's interesting of an idea. It's 64 pages, and there's a lot of padding here. In fact, 32 of those 64 pages are a saga-style retelling of the Brand New Day story. If you are like me and you have any interest in reading the Brand New Day Yearbook, you've already read what's in those 32 pages. And you don't need it dumbed down and told to you again. This was not some sort of cryptic epic that was presented over the past year. It was simple, straight-up Spider-Man stories. There is nothing new in the saga half of this book, and that's half of this book. Then we have 24 pages of official handbook entries of the new characters, or of old characters to be tweaked out, like Anti-Venom. Here we have a 3-page Anti-Venom official handbook entry. They've added 3 paragraphs from the old Venom official handbook entry. So it's really not new material. Here's 24 pages, 2 pinups, and then 6 pages that are supposed to be an interview about character assassination, the next big story arc after New Ways to Die. This might have been justified for $3. 64 pages, maybe have bumped it to $4. This is priced $4.99. This is a $5 book, and anybody that's interested in Spider-Man Brand New Day is not interested in buying this book and paying $5 for it. This is a terrible idea, and again, in terms of oversized books, this is an example of where you go wrong. You want to do an oversized book you want to charge people $4 for? Right here. Don't charge people $5 for something they've already read 3 times, and they don't need to again, and you're running Spider-Man Saga at the same time. This is junk. Get it out of here.
Wow, you almost damaged that comment.
I've been doing it a favor. Last up, Ultimatum number 2. Jeff Loeb and David Finch doing a very interesting job here. Again, it's only a 5-issue miniseries, but we are actually seeing some payoff from Ultimatum number 1. Some really strong performances in terms of characters that are dying, characters that are being beat up. It's very interesting to see where this is going. The storyline develops in an appropriate way. It's going in a great direction, and I don't normally say this about Jeff Loeb's work, but I'm actually fascinated by this. I'm interested to see where this is going, and I haven't had any stake of interest in the Ultimate line in a long time. So, very interesting stuff. It's exciting that it keeps me back in it. It's only part 2 of 5. Some crazy things are going on. Of course, 3 issues, Loeb could completely screw it up, and he could also completely deliver an excellent new start to the Ultimate Universe. It's still going to be up in the air. I know he can do a lot of work and turn a really good thing into a really bad thing in a single issue. So I'm going to reserve judgment until we get all the way to the end. But so far, this has started off excellent. That's it for this installment. We'll see you with part 2 in a little bit.